When to use debt. You've been told don't use it, never use it. My boy Dave Ramsey says all debt is bad debt. It is the evil devil of the universe. Look, let me tell you something, okay? If you do your homework and don't just listen to what the popular thing is, that debt is somehow killing everyone, there is a time to use debt and there's times when you don't want to use it. When do you use debt? Because look, there's no always in anything. If you look at companies like Caterpillar or Coca-Cola or the big oil companies, they all use debt. How could you put an oil well somewhere 10 miles off the coastline without borrowing money to do that so that you could create a company like Exxon? You'd have to use debt. Otherwise, it wouldn't happen. There is a time to use debt and there's a time not to. And it's very, very simple. Here's the deal. I'll tell you right now, okay, I'm worth way more money than Dave Ramsey. Dave doesn't believe in debt. I've used debt to expand my businesses and my empire. Oh, by the way, the people that broadcast Dave Ramsey's shows use debt. Otherwise, his message wouldn't get out. You understand? The TV and radio channels that distribute his message all had to use debt in order to buy the facilities, the equipment, and the machinery to push the message out. All right? Content is not king, by the way. Content is not king. Distribution is the holy grail. I need some pipeline to push the message out on. Back to debt. Debt is my distribution channel. Debt is my ability to go in the market and produce more income, not buy more things. I never use debt for consumption. This is your target here. This is your rule. The basic building block of income and wealth and money. Number one, you use debt to build income. You never use debt for consumption, ever. I never use debt for consumption. These credit cards are not debt instruments for me. Debt is me going to the bank and borrowing money to go into a business. Would I do that? Probably not. I probably would not borrow money to start a business. I would go out and knock on doors. I'd go cold call. I'd meet with people. I'd sit down with people and raise money for investments. But even that is a form of debt. All right? Look, Google right now, Google and Apple. Apple Computer, for instance, is a company that's got $270 billion in cash. Study that company. They're borrowing money from Japan right now, and they got $250 million in cash. Is that right? 270? No, $250 billion. I couldn't even get it right, right? $250 billion in cash. And they're borrowing money from Japan. Why? Because they can borrow money, debt. They can use debt cheaper to explode income, to invest in equipment, to do research, to blow up their top line. Again, 95% of your time should be spent on the top line. All the 5% on the expenses, companies that are expanding, households that are expanding are focused on income. Debt is not your problem, unless, of course, you use debt for consumption. So what's consumption? Groceries, cars, maybe not even cars. What if my car is actually getting me to money? Then I'm like, okay, I'll borrow money. I'd actually lease a car to go get income, not buy a car to drive my kids around. You get the difference? All debt is not created equal, okay? All debt is not created equal. Today I probably have, I was brought up believing all debt was bad debt. Today I probably have $225 million worth of debt. You know who's paying that debt? I'm not paying for the debt. The apartment buildings, okay, the buildings, the people, the tenants that live in those apartments are paying down $220 million worth of debt every month, while I get the write-off of the interest that they're paying. How good does it get? They're paying for it, and I get the write-off. When do you use debt? You use it when it makes you more money. You use it when you get a write-off for it. You use it when it allows you to expand your empire and make your dreams come true, and you never ever use it for clothes, cars, shoes, consumptions, goober stuff, travels, vacations, hotels. Unless you're going to a hotel to make money, you would never use debt to do that, okay? So when are you going to use it? It's simple. Makes me money or it buys me a product. Only when it makes you money.